there's this guy who died
After
called
his
so
death.
and so after his death. But then I looked at how the media is giving it a lot of attention. I was like, okay, people die every day. There are a lot of young men and women who are being killed each and every day.
Yeah.
Why is it this one? And if it comes to speaking things about this one, the word LGBT. Is it a matter of emphasizing? Are they marketing something? What's the issue?
I think the guy is called Cheloba. I don't know. Yeah, but one thing I've not yet followed up the story of Cheloba very well because I always have a tendency things which are nonsense. I don't want to give them attention. The issue of Cheloba, I'm just going to pick. I just picked around 5 to 4 lessons. One, no matter how bad your relatives are, try as your best to be there for them.
Yeah, true.
Because when you get a problem, they're the ones who will be there for you. Cheloba, for me, I've not yet followed up whether he ran from his family or what. But when it came to his death, there was no one there except his people. He was adopted by a so-called white family. The white family wasn't there at the burial of Cheloba. He was taken into LGBT. When the boy died, none of them was there.
Who took him?
No one knows. Because according to one interview, I went up and followed, it was on Ebru TV. He said he joined them because he was being rejected by his family after the death of his parents. So meaning, if at all you are to follow up, this guy, after being rejected, he thought that this is the way to go. This is what I tell parents. Try as your best as you can to be in the life of your kids. And if at all you have money, try your best not to take your kids to boarding schools. Because what is happening there, you don't know. I started my education in primary 1 at a boarding school full of boys. I know what it happens there. Okay.
And you finished, when did you leave the boarding section?
I left, I think, in primary 5, which here people call, I don't know, is it standard 5?
Is it standard? Yeah, something.
Standard 5, okay. So, this nonsense happens. So if at all you have your money, just take care of your kid, raise them at home. Because whenever you are looking at a kid, you can easily notice that there are some behaviors which are coming up, which ain't human. Yeah, still on the issue of Cheloba, when these so-called media picked attention, and all these so-called people who call themselves activists, I thank God that for once and for all, they came and proved how stupid they were. Because they jumped on an issue saying, oh, Kenyans are homophobic, Kenyans have killed the boy. Little did they know, his circuit is the one which killed him. Okay? So, they went and started insulting people on media. CNN picked up the story. Everyone, even there is a friend of mine who went and wrote a poem, especially people who are, I call them apologists. Or people, sometimes I call them leftists. They just jumped on the story. Now he's among them. He wrote, not even he. She wrote a full poem insulting how Kenyans are homophobic. But when the story again came up, the people just knew that, oh, this guy, meaning he was killed by his own circle. Because this is what is in media. For me, I'm quoting the media. And because the case is in court, I don't want to give it too much attention. Okay? So since the story which was being said in media, it is that the guy cheated on his fellow guy. So that led to his death. I do think it is a psychological problem. That is it. Period. I won't comment much about it because it is in court.
Recently,
court, you have to.
Recently, I was addressing this matter to some of my friends.
Yeah.
I was telling them one thing: the moment you find yourself being, carved into this system of gays, lesbianism, whatever they call it, I don't know. May I categorize it as some people who are confused with some, who have a mental problem. It is actually a mental problem. If you look deep into this thing, why? You see, a normal human being cannot get confused of his gender. You don't need to tell people you're a man or you're a woman.
I don't
So
know
when you find yourself saying
yeah
you're a man and people see you as a woman, which means you are confused. That's a
No.
confusion. You have a mental problem. So
this
there are
is
things
it.
I don't compromise about. Actually, I don't know how people will take this, and I'm not afraid to say this. I know systems have a way of censoring people who can say such matters, but this is the thing. That's not the reality of life.
No, this is it. Letters are meaning that thing. Actually, I feel that is why I've told you to give them up to Z. Because letters are many. Now they are the lesbians a woman who is attracted to a fellow woman. Then there are gays, a man. Some things. So how can even a man be attracted to a fellow man with all these women on the streets?
That's why I'm telling you, it's a mental problem.
Then again, for you, the ones you are talking about, the ones like I'm a man, I want to change. Those ones are the so-called transgenders. That is why I'm telling you, letters are many. Okay, so for me, this is what I always say. For me, I have no problem with doing your nonsense, no matter how you do it. But don't put it in my face because I'm not comfortable with it. Okay, automatically, people will want to quote us in another way around. Oh, this. But if at all I'm not comfortable with your nonsense, I have also a right. The same way you have a right to do your nonsense in your bedroom. Also, I have a right not to be comfortable with you.
But here's the thing. Do you know there is a relationship between private life and public life? Whatever you do in private, no matter what it is, it reflects in public. Look at people who are, when it comes to matters of character, and character is mainly driven by habits. So if you look at these things, you realize that whatever habits you have in private, they will really manifest in public, no matter how much you hide them. Character is like pregnancy. No matter how much a woman hides pregnancy, there's a time it's going to show. So these people, no matter how much they do it in private, to manifest in public, they will never hide it. So we just have to see them like that.
No,
we won't expect them to hide.
Do you have any girlfriend?
I don't. I can't. Where from? How can I start having them? Because how? Actually, there are things that are really disgusting to me.
For me,
I once had a friend.
For me, I've never.
But I didn't know that he is until there's this day he got caught stealing a microscope from a laboratory. So
and he had put it behind.
No. It can't fit.
It can fit. Let me tell you a story.
Don't. Let me
tell you a story.
Yes.
There is one guy. I saw him yesterday on one YouTube channel of a Ugandan, and he was saying
the prisoner.
That, he was saying that in prison they have what they call beating a boat. I've just given it in the translation. So when they go to those so-called prisons, courts, and there are those new guys whom they're taking to prison. Now what they do, they tell those guys, give that guy money. He's the only one who can keep that money, so that the prison warden won't see that money, because they don't allow them to enter with money in the prison. One, they fear that they might run with the money. Okay, they might use the money to run away from prison. So now what these guys do, they get, even if it is as huge as $1 million, they get it and put it in a karatas, kavera. So,
I heard that story.
He gets all that money as huge as it is. Then he puts it in the boot, all of it behind. So even if you try to check the idiot, he just does like this. So that is what is happening. People here. So a microscope is very small. It can
By the
fit
way,
there.
when you speak of that guy,
Yeah.
you know, I watched the interview today when that guy was speaking about the prison,
Yeah.
you know, lifestyle, and actually
Someone who says that even a 10 liter can go behind. What are you talking about?
someone made
10
a
liter
point.
jerry can.
Someone made a point, a comment in the comment section. I saw a comment, a comment that was really interesting. He said this guy, whatever this guy is speaking is true.
Yeah.
Because this guy was a serial thief,
Yeah,
robber.
I know him
And
by
he
the
stays-
this is
yes.
the truth. Yeah, because he was living in Kajan. Is not even
I heard
Kajansi.
is it
Chisenyi.
yeah. That place, yeah. So now I was telling you I had a friend. So he stole a microscope from the laboratory. It was during the holiday seasons. But because I was working with an organization that was in school,
Yeah.
it was a music organization. So I used to train people during holidays. But we were wondering, this guy was in a boarding section. He didn't go back home. He remained at the school. He asked the director, can I remain at the school? So the director was like, you have a family. What are you doing here? So the day he was caught stealing, now that's when he was asked, why did you steal this microscope? He was like, I wanted to sell it and get money. To do what? To go back home. And they asked him, okay, you wanted money, but we are told you to go back home before. I was promised, there's a prominent guy. I think I want to mention his name because he's
Kalangwa.
no, he's a former